Hello, welcome to today's video. I wanted to do a video sharing my love for all of my favorite booktubers. I have been watching booktube since, 2012, 2013. I stumbled across a booktuber and I had no idea that there was book content on YouTube. I don't know, I must have been looking at like a book trailer or something, and then suddenly I saw someone like reviewing a book, and I just discovered this whole world of booktube. I wasn't reading a lot of YA, but a lot of the YouTubers I found first were YA booktubers, and it took me a while to kind of find the people whose books I also was interested in. My love for booktube has never waned. Sometimes I don't watch it as frequently, but really my watch later playlist is always like 200 videos long, and I struggle to keep up with it because I just love books. I love talking with people about books, and I don't have enough people in my life that I can talk to about books. So I spend a lot of time watching or listening to YouTube to get to listen to people talk about books and share their love of books. And now I have a channel where I can share my love of books, and I've just been having a great time with it. So I wanted to start off with my favorite booktubers who I've been watching the longest. These are the ones where even if we don't read the same kinds of books, I have stuck with their channels for so long, and I will be so sad if they ever stop posting. So the person who I believe I've been watching the most is Kitty over at Kitty G Books. She reads a lot of science fiction and fantasy, mostly focused on fantasy. And when I first found her, I think this is probably in 2013 or 2014. So I've been watching her for 10 years. And she has taken a little break. She's had a baby and had to take some breaks because of having a little baby, but she posts now, not always super consistently, but I love hearing her book recommendations. She has recommended so many books that I have on my shelves because of her. I haven't necessarily read all of them, but I just love her videos. I really love how she seems to come across a lot of books that other people aren't reading, and she'll tell how she feels about them. She is just a very sentimental YouTuber for me, as well as just me liking her videos. I just am so attached because I've been watching her for 10 years. And so if you don't know Kitty over at Kitty G, I would recommend you go check out her channel. She has so much content that you could watch if you wanted to go back. I think I've watched her the longest. She's probably one of the ones that's been going the longest as well. And then some people I haven't followed as long, or some people who I'd followed at that time aren't posting anymore. And so it just brings me a lot of joy that I can still watch her videos. Next, we have Thomas from SFF 180. I don't read a ton of science fiction, but Thomas does. He reads a lot of older and newer stuff. He reads a lot of horror and a little bit of fantasy too. And I just really appreciate his insights as someone who's been in the book review business for quite a long time. He's been doing this for much longer than I have been watching. And I think that while I don't always agree with the books that he likes, we don't always like the same thing, I really enjoy watching a lot of his videos just to get his perspective on it. I think he's a really great reviewer. He's been working at it for a long time. I do find that his reviews give me a lot of insight into the book and whether or not I might like it. And so I really love watching his videos. I just really like filling my feed with people who maybe have a different perspective. He's an older person, and so he's not always reading like the latest and greatest. He's also going and reading in the backlist as well, and I just really enjoy his videos. Another person who I've been watching for quite a while is Kelsey at the Fancy Hat Lady Reads. She has also had off and on some breaks from YouTube, but always seems to come back, and She was actually the first person that recommended Tea Kingfisher to me, which I will always be so grateful to her for. I read Bryony and Roses and The Seventh Bride because of her, and then I went on to read so much Tea Kingfisher, but she loves to read a lot of kind of cozy fantasy. She also reads a lot of things that are kind of off the beaten path. She's not always reading just the newest, greatest stuff, and so I get tons of book recommendations from her, and I'm always so excited whenever her video shows up in my feed. Mari Ness at My Name is Mari Ness. I love her videos. She does a lot of very critical thinking videos where she's going to really break down and think about books, and I don't always read the same kinds of books that she does. I feel like our overlap is very little, but she does a lot of great critiques of maybe really popular books. Like she's been doing one for Throne of Glass, and I haven't read Throne of Glass, but I really loved her insights when she was talking about it, and I think she's going to continue going on and doing the whole series. So I just really like her thoughtfulness and her insight into books, and I find her way of talking about books just very entertaining and interesting and thought-provoking. Angela from Literature Science Alliance, another person who I get so many book recommendations from. I think Angela really focuses on a lot of new releases. I find that she reads a lot of newer titles, at least ones that have been published in the past 10 years or so, and I really enjoy watching her videos. She gets through so many series. I love watching her series TBRs that she does usually once a quarter, and then she'll kind of wrap it up. And she does a lot of science and a lot of fantasy, and that's my wheelhouse when it comes to reading. I love those two genres, especially the fantasy genre. So I really love watching her videos. I think she has great recommendations, and I would love to do a video sometime of just going through and reading books that she's recommended. I think that would be really interesting to do for a lot of these booktubers. So yeah, if you haven't checked out her channel, you should check her out. She also does a lot of Cosmere content, like live shows with other people. She was part of the Great Cosmere Along with a few other booktubers, and so she has tons of Cosmere content, which I've really enjoyed watching. Leanna over at Leanna's Library. Leanna is someone who we don't agree on a lot of books, and we don't read a lot of overlap. She tends to read very differently than I do, but I find her videos so entertaining. The way she talks about them, the way she kind of breaks down what she likes and what she doesn't like in books just really speaks to me, and I really enjoy hearing her thought process on when she loves and doesn't love a book, and I really like her critical thinking about books. She doesn't love Stormlight Archive. She hated The Way of Kings, and I haven't actually gone and watched her video, her review of The Way of Kings since I've read it now, because I love that book. I don't want to see her hate it. But no hate to her. Obviously, everyone has their own likes and dislikes, and I can totally understand why someone wouldn't like Sanderson at all and definitely wouldn't like The Way of Kings. I can totally understand it. I just love it. I really like her kind of critical lens that she views books through. All right, another YouTuber that I'm sure many people already know about is Emily from Books with Emily Fox. I found her quite a long time ago, and I've just really enjoyed watching her channel. She reads a lot like me. She reads a variety of genres, and she'll read backlist and front list, and she'll just read so many different things that you never know what you're going to get in one of her videos, and I love that as someone who loves reading anything that I come across that sounds interesting. I love hearing other people do that as well, and I get these like hidden gems from her. She was one of the booktubers that read I Who Have Known Men, which is like a dystopian novel that I've heard so many good things about. After she did that video, I started seeing that book go from not being in stores anywhere to suddenly like popping up everywhere, and I literally think that's because of her. So she's awesome. I love the way that she kind of champions books when she loves them, and I love that she reads fantasy and thrillers and romance and classics and nonfiction. She reads it all, and I love it. And then finally, another booktuber who doesn't need my recommendation, but I just really enjoy her videos. That's Kayla from Books and Lala. I found her videos when she was doing the TBR closet clean out, and I was just hooked. She does such interesting videos. Her vlogs are interesting. She picks weird books to read. She reads a ton, and I don't always think our genres mix because I read mainly epic fantasy, and that is not her genre at all. But I still find her videos so interesting to watch just from a creator standpoint. She creates very interesting videos, and people who don't even like reading, I could see them enjoying her content. So this next group of YouTubers has a very special place in my heart. They are a group of booktubers who I found through a readathon, and I just fell in love with their kindness towards each other and their little circle of friendship that they found on the internet, of supporting one another's channels. I love the fact that whenever I watch a video from one of them, I'll go down in the comments and I will see everyone in there commenting on like every single video, like as soon as it's posted. And I just think it's really sweet to see this group of people who love books and have found each other and are just so kind and encouraging towards one another. None of them are super huge channels, but you should check them all out because I really love the content that they're making, and the books they're reading are very interesting. So we will start with the creator of the readathon. The readathon, by the way, is Wonderthon. It is my favorite readathon I've ever done, and if you have not heard of it, you should check it out in June. And the person who created it is Lizzie from Lizzie's Literary Life. During Wonderthon, she is known as the Empress because she created it, but Lizzie is immensely creative. This readathon has so much thought put into it. Even just from the first year she did it, which was 2 years ago, to this last year, she put so much work into it, and it's so good. Like, I wish we had more rounds of it rather than just in June, because I never read more than when Wonderthon is happening. I think it's such a fabulous, fabulous readathon. And then she just has interesting content. She does a lot of reading wrap-ups. I love her videos. She reads a lot of general fiction, which isn't my wheelhouse, but I'm definitely like always watching her videos to see if I can get recommendations for what's good in the lit fic world. And I just really enjoy watching her videos. She's very funny. She does her tipsy wrap-ups at the end of the month, which are great. And she's created an amazing readathon. So you should definitely be subscribed to her for Wonderthon and then stay for everything else that she makes. And then I met Martine from Just Martine during Wonderthon. Martine has been the team captain for my team every year that I've done Wonderthon because it is a competitive readathon. Martine is such an awesome person and their videos are amazing. I just got done watching all of their 12 TBRs of Christmas. Throughout the year, Martine sets up these secret TBRs and she reads them all, and then I think after Christmas she releases them, like the day after Christmas or on Christmas. I think it's on Christmas she releases the first one, and then she does 12 videos in a row, and oh my gosh. And Martine made a TBR game that she's going to be playing throughout the year, and it was so fun. It's based off of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So if you have not heard of Martine, you need to be watching their channel. Next up, we have another creator in that same group. Another captain of Wonderthon is Bailey from Is Bailey Reading. She also is the creator of Squash That Series, which was the first video on my channel. I did a Squash That Series reading vlog. Bailey is so kind. She reads very differently from me as well. She reads a lot of romance, which I don't read as much of. I like a romance here or there, so I don't overlap a lot with the books that she reads, but I love watching her videos. I love Squash That series. She's so kind when she's playing in Wonderthon. She's a very nice player, and I just think that she has a really creative channel. I love the videos that she does. She does a lot of reading vlogs, and she has a game that she plays throughout the year called Jokes on Me, which I've really enjoyed watching, and she's had to kind of take a little break for moving and stuff, but I'm hoping that she'll start posting more because I love her videos. And then Ruby from Ruby Red is another creator I found from Wonderthon, and she just has a lot of litfic that she reads, and I really enjoy the way she talks about books. Her videos are always like beautifully set. She has a beautiful setup for filming, which I know is not the most important thing, but it makes her videos lovely to watch. So I really enjoy listening to her talk about books. She has a very calming personality, which makes her videos very like gentle and nice to listen to. So if you haven't checked her out, I would encourage you to check out her videos. Danielle from Danielle Reads. Danielle has been so kind and supportive with my channel. I've really appreciated all her support and her welcoming attitude towards me as I've kind of tiptoed into the booktube sphere a little bit nervously at times, and she's been so kind. She'll watch my videos and comment on them, and we've had this really fun conversation where we've been reading Stormlight sort of at similar times, and so we've been sharing that experience, and I just think that she is very kind. She does a lot of vlogs on her channel and lots of things like reading her bestie's favorite books, 24-hour reading challenges and things like that. And she reads a lot of fantasy, which is amazing because I love that. So I'm definitely going to be getting recommendations from her as I continue watching her videos. And I just think she's super kind and fun to watch, and her vlogs are so much better than mine. I'm always like, I don't know what to vlog from my life. I just tend to vlog updates of the books that I'm reading, and I always feel like she is going out and doing fun things and is able to capture those in the vlogs, and I just think her channel is super fun, and you should definitely check her out. And thank you, Danielle, for being so kind and welcoming to me. I really appreciate it. And then we have a handful more booktubers. I know this is probably a really long video, but there's so many that I love. The next one is Alan from the Library of Alexandria. I found his channel, I think around 2021, so I've been watching for 3-4 years now, and I just really enjoy his channel. He is so funny. He doesn't read a lot of books, but he thinks a lot about the books that he does read, and he'll do a lot of like discussion videos either by himself or with other people who have read with him, and I think he thinks a lot about his reading, which is always super interesting to really get an in-depth view into someone's mind. We do not always agree on books, but one thing that we do have in common is that we both love the Greatcoat series by Sebastian de Castell, and if you haven't read that series, you definitely should, because Alan and I love it, love it, love it. It's so good. Another YouTuber I have watched for a long time is Monica over at Monica Kim. She is such a sweet, gentle person, and her videos are a lot of cozy content. She loves like cozy gaming and cozy hobbies and cozy reads, and so she'll do these like very aesthetic, nice to listen to and watch vlogs about her like reading or gaming. She'll do a lot of videos about like upcoming cozy games that she's excited to play, and I've loved watching her videos. I don't know that we read a lot of the same books. I'm not super into cozy books. I read one every once in a while, but I really just enjoy watching her videos. I think that she's a great filmer and editor and just knows how to create like a pleasant video to watch. And then another YouTuber I love is Erin from Booked and Busy. She's just another one of my very standard fantasy and sci-fi booktubers that I watch all the time. I love her videos. she reads a lot of the popular sci-fi fantasy series, and so I get a lot of recommendations and kind of will hear what she has to say about new releases and use that information to decide if I want to pick up a book or not. And so I just love her videos. She has a really lovely way of speaking about books that I feel like really gets her thoughts across, and so I always come out of it feeling like I agree with her. I don't want to read that book, or I do want to read that book, or I'll go, oh, she didn't like that, but I think I'll still like it because that isn't something I have a problem with. So I think she's a very like informative reviewer on YouTube. And then Jess from Jess Owens, she's another very popular booktuber, and I love her channel. I think I came across hers when she was doing the book community, kind of about all the drama, and I'm like never on book Twitter. I never know what the drama is between like the authors and the booktubers and stuff and the publishing. So I came across her videos, and I just think she's really entertaining, and she does a lot of research into her videos that she does on different discussion topics. I think her discussion topics are probably my favorite videos to watch. I think they're really interesting. I think they're really well thought out. She puts tons of work into them. And she also just reads a lot of fun sci-fi fantasy, which is my bread and butter. So I love her channel. Then Kasara from Reads with Kasara. Kasara had taken a break for a while, and I thought she was like done with YouTube, and I was so sad because she's a YouTuber I've been watching for quite a while. I don't know exactly how long, but I've been watching for a while, and I thought she was gone, and I was so sad because I missed her videos. She reads a lot of sci-fi fantasy, like many of these YouTubers do, and I just love her videos. She does a lot of like kind of short, quick, to the point videos, which is great because I don't always have time to watch an hour-long video. And she reads a lot of new releases and backlists. I feel like she reads a good mix. She'll throw in like a thriller or a mystery every once in a while, and I just really enjoy watching her videos. You should definitely check her out, especially as she's kind of making a little bit of a comeback. Joanna over at Joanna Reads is a newer subscription of mine, but I really enjoy watching her videos. She is friends with Alan from the Library of Alexandria, and so I kind of came across her videos through that, and she reads not a lot of the same books that I read. She has sort of proclaimed that she reads a lot of dude bro fiction, and so a lot of it is not stuff that I'm necessarily interested in. Never say never, but you know, she's read like Lonesome Dove and Stoner and The Black Company and Malazan and things like that. She reads a lot of that like dude bro fiction, and she really enjoys it. And I just think it's interesting to hear her talk about books. She's read some Ursula K. Le Guin lately, and she's talked about them, which is fun because I love Ursula K. Le Guin. And I just really enjoy her videos. She's a very well-spoken person, and she gets her thoughts across very well, and she thinks a lot about like the themes of books, like that kind of slightly more highbrow reviewing than I tend to do, but I really enjoy listening to her talk about them. And then Tori at Tori Morrow is another one of my staple booktubers. As soon as one of her videos pops up, it's going right on my watch later playlist. I really enjoy her and how she talks about sci-fi and fantasy. She reads a lot of the big titles in sci-fi fantasy, and I really value her opinion on what she thinks of them. I'm not someone that keeps up very well on like all the hot new things because I usually wait until a series is finished before I start it, and so it takes me a while to like catch up to people, but I really enjoy just seeing what she's reading. I think that she has a very calming presence in her videos, and her videos are very chill. They're very focused on the books, and I just really love that. Finally, one of my newest subscriptions, in fact, maybe my newest subscription, is Nikki at the Obsessive Bookseller. I found her through her Read, Burn, Hoard series that she has been doing for quite a while, I think over like a year, where she's kind of going through her collection and reading the books she owns, getting rid of the books that she doesn't want, and things like that. And I just think that she does a lot of really fun, unique things on her channel. She reads a lot of backlist fantasy, which is awesome because I own a lot of backlist fantasy, and so I like hearing her opinions on some of the authors that I'm also considering reading and some of the books that I'm considering reading. So I really have enjoyed that. And then I just enjoy her different like challenges that she kind of sets for herself, her different like genre deep dives and things like that that she's done. I just think that she's doing a lot of really fun, unique things on her channel that I haven't seen other people do. She's talking about a lot of books that maybe I haven't heard of, which I always kind of appreciate. She reads a bit of urban fantasy and paranormal fantasy, which I'm always looking for recommendations for because a lot of it doesn't fit exactly what I want from urban fantasy. I use her as like a touch point for like if she's done a review of it, I can check that out and go, okay, is this the kind of fantasy, urban fantasy that I'm looking for or not? And so I think that's really awesome. So if you haven't checked out Nikki, the Obsessive Bookseller, you definitely should. So this is a video I have wanted to make for a long time. Even before I had a booktube channel, I was like, I just want to tell people about all these awesome booktubers that I love and more people should watch. And so I hope that you check out some of their channels. If you want to shout out some of your favorite booktubers down in the comments, please do so because I'm always looking to add more people. As some people leave and stop making videos, I'm always looking to add more people that I watch into the rotation, so to speak. So thank you so much for sticking around. I know this is quite a long video, but I hope you come away with maybe some people to check out and support in their bookish endeavors. Thanks for watching. Bye.